In 3, 2, 1. Okay, part 3. I hope you're ready. It's been
Stop it.
It's been simple this far.
I'm trying to.
We're about to go down the rabbit hole.
I'm trying to move forward.
Yeah, the rabbit hole.
Hey, now that I'm looking at that schedule, are we able to adapt Sunday and Wednesday and Sunday and Thursday?
That's fine.
Just because I normally do jiu-jitsu on Tuesday.
Oh,
and then it's
look
like
at Naruto
Wednesday,
over here.
I'm trying to move that into another thing. So
Ninjutsu.
Thursday would be perfect.
Okay.
Just saying there. All right.
Okay.
But yeah, so going forward. So I'll let you ask this one.
No,
so
you ask it.
I'll let you ask because I
Okay,
asked you last too. So
fine.
you go at it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn,
Mm-hmm.
how have your past relationships changed you as a person?
It's a lot.
Bombshell.
It's a lot.
I got a mangina.
That's a lot. I gotta unwrap. It's quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a bit to such a level. It's like the equivalent of how has my current job changed from my last job.
Well, let's break it down. Let's dig into this.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do a positive and a negative.
Mm-hmm.
As far as negative, how have your past relationships affected you?
Yes. Okay. That's good. The negative aspect of it is that I can tell that I am very closed off from things.
Mm-hmm.
I've shut that part of my brain off to not care.
Right.
And it sucks because I know what I'm doing. And it's not that
right.
it's not who I am as a person. I'm a very loving and caring individual, but people don't see that. Be it with the girlfriend, with friends.
Yeah.
I like to sum the relationship up as a whole where even my close friends, it's like if I've gotten burned so many times and I've been just this loving, giving, here's everything I have.
Right.
Let me do what I can to take care of you, and then I feel like I'm alone at the end of it. Because in all honesty, the only people that have really, really stuck around, be it friends and that, are you, Chris. I don't count my dad and my brother because
that's automatic.
Family. That probably Chris and James.
Yeah.
Yes, because they've been around. Mike's there included as well, but you and Chris.
Cut one off. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And it used to be Naomi. She was one of my closest. That was like a sister to me, and I slowly just fucking traitor
Things
here
went
decided
sideways.
one direction. So it's like, but I treat my friends like family because I would like if something. I always think about this too. If I were in a situation where the world's about to end, and we all get popped into a black room, and the devil's standing there, and he says, "All right, so here's what I can do for you. I could either kill all the people that are close to your life and put you back on Earth and reset you, and you're good to go. But now you no longer have these people in your life, meaning that you've died.
Oh yes.
My brother, my dad, Chris, like whomever, they all pass, or you sacrifice yourself and everybody gets to live. I would in the drop of a hat.
Of course.
They're like, oh, but don't you want to do this, this, and this? Oh, and when you come back, and if everybody dies, you're loaded. You have all the money in the world. You can travel, do whatever, make new friends. Doesn't matter.
I don't want to be alone.
It doesn't matter. It's like, oh, but you can make new friends. Doesn't matter.
Not the
So
same.
you will constantly convince you, and I've always ran this scenario in my head. It's like I will constantly try to be convinced that I could have all this money, find a new relationship, find friends, do whatever, and I'm like, no, it's not the same. If I put you in my circle, then I would drop everything. It's gotten to this point now where it's like that circle has just gotten tighter and tighter.
Yes.
Because I've let so many people come in here.
Right.
And I explain to them, hey, this is how I am. This is what I do. I'm this person that will take care of you.
Yes.
But I want you to succeed. I want you to be successful. Whatever you need from me, I'm here to take care of you. But don't just ghost me. You fucking ghost me, you're dead to me.
Yes.
And by dead, I mean if I see you again, I'll fucking kill you.
You're dead.
Yes. It's not a good thing, but it's like, get away from me because I don't like this whole. I'm not a fucking bus stop.
Yes.
You're not gonna come in, park your fucking feet for a minute, get comfortable, and then take a bus somewhere else.
Yes.
And that has gotten me to that point where it's happened so frequently, be it relationships and friends, where I'm like, I take it to heart when someone's like, they either stop talking to me or they slowly just disappear for whatever fucking reason. And there's probably parts on my side too. But in my head, it's like, the amount of love I have for you as a person.
Yes.
And the fact is that you can't take the time to be like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Or, hey, what's going on? You just happen to go, and that's how it was with my past roommate. Me and her are really close, and relationships tend to do this. Is that when you're in a relationship with somebody, you forget about everybody else around them because you need to focus on that relationship. I've never been like that. I've either brought that person in the relationship with me to
everybody
meet
else,
my friends, or I'm still seeing my friends.
Right.
Because it's not going to be I got to focus on this person, so you guys are out. Because you know what happens? That person probably won't be around forever, and when they leave, you're left with nothing.
You know what they say? Don't put your pussy on a pedestal.
No.
But I mean, I agree. It's been the same thing. Yes, I agree. It makes you put up a facade. Mm-hmm. Whereas before we were open, loving. Look, I'm going to show you everything I have to offer you up front. Yep. Now I'm going to make you work for it.
Oh yeah.
Now you got to earn it, because I've seen people and I've dealt with being taken advantage of because I'm nice, because I'm willing to sacrifice. Like Lynn said, I will give up my last fucking dollar to make sure you have food. Mm-hmm. We have lived together. Me and this motherfucker have eaten ramen, Ritz crackers.
Even, and this is why D will always like have he'll be up in that pedestal area, is that there was a time where I was a runaway and I had ran away from home, and I was out, I tried sleeping in different places. So I was homeless. I tried sleeping in different spots. I remember, it was one of the worst ones that sat in my head, is I remember, because I didn't want to take that car because it wasn't my car.
Yeah.
And I was done with everything, mom, notch back then.
Yeah.
And I remember walking all the way up to Angel Park from the old house that I used to have off of Rainbow. And I tried
on the bench.
I tried to sleep in the tennis court.
Yeah.
And it was freezing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I can't do this. Mm-hmm. I tried it for like about a week or two. And then D was one of the people that's like, hey, it is a 2-bedroom place, but why don't we dump all your stuff in here? And I was sleeping in his living room.
Yeah.
And I was still going to work, doing everything I needed to do. And it was like, that kind of reset to me to think like, you don't get a lot of people that are willing to just take you in from scratch. And we were kids back then, mind you.
We were 18,
Most
19,
people aren't even mentally developed like that. Normally adults are the ones that are like, hey, I'll take you in. But we were 18, 19 at that point. So those are the cons of what I've gotten from this.
Positively.
So the pro of what the pros relationships I've had, and this is something I definitely know that I do better, is that I've slowed my mental process, my cognitive function down significantly. Meaning I've grown smarter.
Yes.
Meaning I don't just run in and I start like trying to control and do a whole bunch of fucking things.
Right.
I've gotten so much more patience, and I know people who are around now that can tell me, like, I used to get fucking, when I would be dealing with fights at work, I'd be fucking shaky.
Oh yeah.
I'd be shaky, like ready to fucking strangle the person. Right. And people would look like, oh, nothing's gonna happen. He's probably just gonna try and do this. And then when I would go full Hulk smash, everyone's like, how can someone that is so small do so much damage? I'm like, people would have to pry me off because I would have so much emotional fucking damage.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing when it comes to kind of go back to the con side of it, is that because I bottle up so much of this shit now rather than just letting it flow naturally, that when it does explode, there is not anybody that I've come across yet that can handle what I have to give out, because they look at me too like, where's all this coming from?
Right.
And they're like, well, they try to talk to me about it, and I'm, like I said, I'm so silver with my tongue that I'm just fucking cutting you. And they're like, it could be like the guy at the McDonald's window, and he's like, I just wanted to know if you wanted I just wanted to know if you wanted to supersize or not. I don't You
just wanted fries, man.
Yes, and I'm just fucking tearing into him. The universe doesn't exist. The earth is flat. your mother never loved you, and it becomes just a nightmare of just, so because of that, because I know this nuclear bomb, this core that I know that's always sitting there, like Chernobyl, like I know it's gonna go off. I've honed my brain to take a step back when I feel like something is gonna set me off. And it gives me pleasure to know that I have patience now. Way more patience. There's so much shit that I've been around now where it's kind of like, you know what, it's
could be worse.
I wanted to fix everything and work on everything, and now it's just like,
you just kind of learn.
Yes.
We had to learn the hard way through a lot of shit, and for the betterment of our individual selves, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I will tell anybody, some of the best times of my life was when we had our apartment. We were broke as fuck and turned off every other day. We didn't know where dinner was coming from, but we had our little family.
Yes, we had a family of really good tight-knit friends. It was all runaways. I always think about like Marvel's Runaways, man. Was it Ian?
It was.
I always get the name of
Enoch.
Yeah, Ian.
Chelsea and the boys.
Ian brought so many people that we became close with. That it was like that. It was like, I don't need to be around my actual family because I have all of these friends. And it was always like Josh, Chong was there, and people that we would really roll with. That I was like, you know what? All the fights and all the robberies and all the bullshit and stuff and crazy fucking shenanigans. It was like always with, and it's crazy. You know what? Most of the stuff we've gone through now, like you almost drowning.
Yeah.
There's been times. I was just thinking about it. I was driving on Buffalo Bridge. Mm-hmm. You know where the
overpass
is? Yeah, the overpass. Mm-hmm. You know how that clock tower is right there?
Yeah.
So a long time ago, sorry, it's a little bit of a story time. To lump sum up that the people that we've gone through and these crazy things are no longer around.
Yes.
I remember my first accident is that it was raining and I was with Sanford. Mm-hmm. You remember Nick?
Yeah.
His name Nicholas. Yeah.
Yes.
And then I had Ryan with me,
Almost
and
fine.
then all the people. So all these people because these were my friends for a long time. We were driving, and I was in the back seat, driver's side, with Sanford driving, and Ryan in the front, and then Nick next to me. And I remember I was listening to the song "Feel Good" by the Gorillaz.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it was raining, and there was a truck that had a flatbed that extended out.
Yeah.
And he had this tiny little fucking Corolla. Mm-hmm. And we say for driving fast, we start going up to the bridge area, and we try to pump the brake, and we hydroplaned, which is the first time I'd ever experienced that. So he tried to turn because the way that the top of the hood would meet where the trail bed was, it'd have ripped the whole fucking top off and just fucking decapitated everybody. And because he turned quick enough, what it did is it, rather than hitting the car dead on,
it
the
whipped
car
around.
turned and it hit, and when it hit, it spun us sideways. What? As we're hydroplaning, it flipped. So that was the first time I'd ever been like upside down in a car.
Shit.
Yeah, this is the first time I'd ever been upside down in a car.
So you were up fucking side down?
Just like the Fresh Prince. My whole life got flipped, turned upside down. Yeah, we got flipped, turned upside down, and that hydroplane fucked up the car was totaled. Mm-hmm. But I don't even know why was I.
I think you were.
Alzheimer's kicking in. What was the purpose in this? I don't know. Okay, yeah. So the reason why, sorry, I got sidetracked because everybody's blowing up my phone right now, so I'm getting sidetracked with this stuff. The people that we've gone through the most traumatizing things in our lives right now aren't around, and not to say like not in a bad way, not like you should have fucking stayed kind of stuff, right? But it really makes you think about the people that you're going to spend your life with, because I've been in situations where it's like, if I get pictures with friends or even past relationships, I don't delete shit because those are my memories of that person. Yes. Because the biggest thing that I have an issue with, and I feel like I was just watching, it's called Dahmer. It's Jeffrey Dahmer, obviously.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, and it's like the attachment issues that he had, but his shit was fucking weird. Like, he had to drug people and then keep them just to sleep with them kind of shit, and then would dissect them. It was crazy, but
that's a little much.
People have that mentality to want to find a way to hold on to certain things. Yes. And when it comes to putting people in that pocket with you, we don't
hoard shit, we hoard friends.
Yes.
Like I'm the same way. I hold on to friends very dearly, and that was kind of my issue. That was one of the reasons I wanted to bring up this topic. That was my issue with my first 2 or 3 big relationships, was I refused to let that person go.
Yeah, I was the same way.
And that put me in a very difficult spot, which leads into our last question. How do you deal with the heartbreak?
Dude, I
feel
like heartbreak isn't it's not an end all thing that just happens and then you go about your life. Right. It's a consistency. Heartbreak can start somewhere and then bleed in to your life until it either stops or you fucking fix it and you become better. And I do not know. I still to this day have a hard time not hurting over things that have bothered me. And it's like I can hide it for the most part. Some people won't even know on what's going on. But it doesn't mean that I don't have this, like with my thought process, because I can be so multi-purposeful with certain things. I can't do a lot of multitasking, but on the few things I do work on, I know my brain will go in sections. I don't know if that's my ADD or what, but I know that if I'm not constantly staying busy, my brain locks onto something that it doesn't want to lock on for.
You go down
I'll even be at I'll be at the fucking gym, and it's like
that's worse.
It ruins it for me. I'll be sitting there working out and be like, my brain will just go into autopilot, like, what the fuck am I supposed to focus on?
And it just sits on that thought or that feeling. It sits on that thought,
and it's like I can't just strip it.
Right.
It's like telling someone to meditate. Yeah. Like, just sit here in silence and then meditate. It's like, I can't. My brain has to be on something. I have to have a single focus. So what I've learned at the gym in order to get my brain out of that is I'll look at something and lock eyes on that. And like, my eyes are not moving from that spot until I'm done with the set. Yeah. In order to stop my brain from doing other things. And it's that heartbreak or heartache is something that is so consistently flowing, and it's because we teach a class called verbal defensive influence. Yes. Which what it does, and I in the beginning I was like, all right, this is fucking bullshit. It's verbal judo and all that stuff. But judo. What I've learned is I'm physically capable of doing a lot of harm to a lot of people. Yes. In a small pocket-sized thing. Yes. Meaning when I would get in fights at work or just in situations in general, because of my background with grappling, my job is to literally train people how to fight and put people in restraints. That when someone starts talking shit to me, in my head I'm like, I know where this is going to go. Right. You physically can't do anything that's going to hurt me because I know I can't
what
stop
I'm capable of. Yes.
So with the verbal defensive influence, it's gotten me to that mindset of knowing how to control a situation with my words.
Yes.
And when it comes to dealing with just heartache and heartbreak, it's like I have to mentally program my brain to stay consistent, which means I'm constantly battling my own thoughts.
Yes.
And that sucks. It sucks because it's like I have to fight with myself, and then I got to talk to people, and then do this, but then shut this shit down. Something I'll talk to you about it after the podcast, so I can kind of give you an insight. But like last week, I had one thing that just fucking I couldn't keep it in.
Yeah,
it all fucking came out, and every once in a while, like I said, it's that little pocket, that little nuclear reactor.
Yep.
Core gets shot out, and whoever's within the vicinity,
they get it.
It's the Hiroshima effect.
Yes.
Hold on for dear life, and you better hope that this fucking mushroom cloud doesn't evaporate.
Yes. Well, that's why I believe it helps to have people that know you around you, so that way, because I can deal with Lynn's anger. We've almost gotten into a fist fight, but we were drunk. It was very, very interesting time. But I know I can deal with his emotional anger.
You're really good at psychologically talking me out of a situation, because sometimes when I get to a point, especially when it's like dealing with heartache and heartbreak, if I run so many scenarios in my head about why the thing isn't going to work, I know there isn't a lot of people that can talk me in the direction of like, you know what it is, because I'll like, someone will say something and I'll trump them like,
yes,
what you're saying is dumb because this is the reason why this is the way this is, and they'll look at me like, well, you're just being negative. I'm like, see, I got you right there.
Right.
Telling me that I'm being negative and not telling me what I can do to fix it or why this method is better.
You're only making it worse.
You're only making it worse. That's like you saying, well, I don't know. I hate that. Like, why did you do that? Well, I don't know.
Right.
Well, why are you acting this way? Well, I don't know.
Are you in control of your body?
And you're one of the few people, if not one of the only people that I know that can, like, if I say something and be like, no, you know, the reason why the ocean is fucking blue is because of, I don't know, Gatorade. Yeah. And you can be like, no, it's because the sky reflects from
the atmosphere,
which
sun.
Yes. And it's like you'll throw these little like nuggets at me, and then my brain goes from trying to defuse a bomb to, ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, like what's that right there? Like,
yeah, because that's how I've had to deal with it. I know I'm a very angry person. That's something that'll never go away. My anger is there. It's always at a 10.
I can't control that.
But I can put him in a cage, like Naruto and the Nine-Tailed Fox. I put him in a cage.
I got all that chakra getting ready to come out. Yeah.
He's there because he's useful when I need him. But I've lived with him, and he's become a part of me, and people know me. They used to know me by my rage. And then I had to learn how to bottle that shit up, because it's like anger is like fire. It does nothing but destroy and kill. And once you let that fire out, it's much harder to contain a fire than it is to start a fire.
Oh, yeah.
So once that fire started, now I have to control it.
That's a good little nugget right there. Like, I've thought of that too. There's been times where I've let, like Wednesday, again, I'll talk to you about it afterwards, but I had the situation where I let all of this shit fucking go out. And then when it was done, like, the people that were around me were like, you could tell they were looking at me different.
Yes.
And it's like, fuck. It's like, I can't. The fire already spread. I've already burned down a good quarter of the village. And it's like, fuck, now I have to piece this back together and try to show people that I can be
I'm not a villain.
I'm not a villain. I'm not this monster that wants to fucking destroy everything. I'm just having a hard time right now.
Yes.
And I have to, like you said, the chakra's got to go somewhere.
It's got to go somewhere.
The Nine-Tailed Fox is going to come out, and I can't just be this happy, peaceful Naruto all the time.
Yes, and that's why I say a strong man needs a strong woman. To really sum all of this up, the reason I brought up this topic is because we've been seeing a lot of separation across our society and our culture, where men are being emasculated under the guise of female empowerment, and that's how you choke on saliva.
Gross.
But I've literally learned by watching Notch, my stepdad, other men around us, my grandfather, people like that, and I've come to find out that men and women are not built equally. That's just not how it works. She has strengths that I don't. I have strengths that she doesn't. It's how we bring ourselves together and make our lives work as a cohesive, symbiotic unit so that we can both come out on top. That should be the ultimate goal in any relationship. It's not about who makes the most money. It's not, oh, she's a 10, she's a dime piece. Oh, he's a this, he's a that. It's about none of that. It's you as a person finding help, love, and support in somebody else that also will share your views, help you bring them, or help bring you up as you're helping bring them up. So I hope this gives somebody some insight. Like Lynn said, you know, we just want to express our feelings, get some feedback. How do you guys feel? You know, do you feel the same? Are you indifferent? Do you think we're just completely off? What is it? But that's all we got.
That's it.
If you haven't already, check out all of our social media. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Check out our Patreon. Sign up. It's cheap as hell. We'll love you forever. If you haven't yet already, go ahead and check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and Anchor Music. I am coming out with a book here pretty soon. I will definitely let you know when that launches. Also, my fiance has started up a GoFundMe to get her business off the ground. It's on our Facebook. If you're interested, go ahead and check the link. We love and appreciate your donations. I'm D.
This is Lynn.
Keep your head in the clouds.
Keep your feet on the ground, always moving forward.
Project Airwaves signing out. We will catch y'all in the next episode. You did so good.
Bye.